and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a tres leches cake. That's a little spin on it because this one is coconut. One of our good family friends loves my tres leches cake and said, can you make one with coconut and coconut rum for my birthday? And I said, absolutely. So I had to share this recipe with all of y'all. You're going to start out with 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Then we are going to be adding in 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we are going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then we are just going to stir to combine all of our ingredients. If you haven't had a tres leches cake before, it's kind of a spongy cake. It's going to absorb all the milks and all the yumminess. So this next part is super, super important. You are going to separate your eggs and the eggs whites and the egg yolks. If for some reason you mess up this part, go again, because then your cake is not going to be that spongy yumminess that you need to soak everything up. Let me show you how. So you are going to need 5 eggs, and we are going to need to separate them. Now you can separate them like this, or the other day I was cooking something with my husband. We had to use a lot of eggs, and he's like, well, just put them all into the bowl and then just pick out the yolks. And I was like, well, I'm scared it's gonna break. He's like, it's not going to, just do it. And I did it, and I was surprised how well it worked. So that's another way you could do it. Then you're going to take your egg yolks, put them into a bowl, and add 3/4 cup of sugar. We are gonna actually kind of like cream this. You're going to just mix it and mix it and mix it until it actually turns like almost a little bit of a lighter color. That's what I was trying to show you and putting in the bowl. It kind of creams up, and that's what you want. Then we're gonna add in a little bit of vanilla. If you can get your hands on Mexican vanilla, I think it's a little bit better. We're gonna need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then we are going to do 1/3 cup of milk, and then we are just going to mix this all together. Now you wanna do this part by hand. Do not do it in a mixer because it's gonna change the consistency. Now we're gonna get going on those egg whites, the important part, because this is what makes this cake, makes it all spongy and everything else. So you're gonna get your egg whites going, and you wanna get them to about a soft peak. I wanted to show you. It's gonna take you a little while. I didn't show the entire thing, how long it takes. It takes a little bit with your mixer. Once you get your egg whites to a soft peak, we're gonna add in 1/4 cup of sugar, and then we are just gonna continue to blend this all together because we wanna make sure that our egg whites are all fluffy and turn into somewhere between a soft and a hard peak. You see how it is? I'm going to show you in just a second. You will know this if you haven't whipped egg whites before. It's going to come up, and when you pull it up, it's still going to come and it'll hold it. And that's exactly what you want for this cake. Now we're going to take our egg yolk mixture and make sure this is all done by hand. And we are just going to blend it in with our flour mixture and blend it till it's all together. Then I wanted to let you know, you want to make sure that you have a 9x13 pan ready, and then you are going to spray it with whatever pan cooking spray you have on hand. Now we're going to start with the egg whites. So this part is real important that you fold it. You are not stirring your egg whites. You are folding them and incorporating them into your mixture. So you're going to just fold and fold and fold until you don't see any like marbleization where you can see the 2 different mixtures. It's going to be one mixture. And that's, you see how frothy it is? You know that you did it right. Then you are going to put it into your 9x13 pan that you sprayed. And then we are just going to pop this into a 350-degree oven. It's going to take about 30 minutes. This, I didn't show you right when I pulled it. I want to show you a few minutes later, within 5 minutes. It's going to start pulling away from the pan, and it'll look like it deflates just a little bit, but it's fine. This is perfect. This is exactly what you want. It's kind of a spongy cake, so we can get ready to suck up all this goodness. Now we're going to do 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream. And then we're going to do 1 whole can, a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. And then you're going to need about 9 ounces, 10 ounces your sweetened condensed milk. I just kind of pour about 3/4 of a can. And then we are just going to stir it all together. Now at this point you can add in coconut rum, or you could also find, and I use a coconut liqueur, or you could also find a coconut extract, whatever you want, or an almond extract or vanilla would work just the same. I do in the end up putting in about 7 tablespoons of coconut rum. Now I would say taste it. That's the best way to go, and you can kind of decide, is that enough in there. I mean, you don't want people getting drunk off your cake, but you want it to taste good. Or you could use your favorite almond extract. It will all work for this cake. Then we're going to take a fork, or you could use a chopstick or anything you would like. You need to poke holes all over your cake so that this milk mixture can get absorbed. Then we're just going to pour it onto our cake and let the cake soak in all this yumminess. Now we're going to go ahead and toast up some coconut for the top of our cake. I just got some sweetened coconut at my store. We're going to throw it onto a sheet pan and throw it into the oven about 350 to 400 for about, I don't know, about 10 minutes. You want to keep an eye on it and kind of rotate your coconut around while it's browning. Now we're going to get started on our whipped cream. We are going to do 2 cups of heavy whipped cream and about a half a cup of sugar. And then we are just going to whip it all up and turn it into some fluffy whipped cream. I'm going to add in just a little bit. You could use Mexican vanilla, you could use a little bit of almond, or you could use some coconut extract that you put into your cake, whatever you'd like. I'm going to do a teaspoon of almond extract because I actually really like it and I didn't want liquor in the top. So I'm just going to add it in and just beat it up till our whipped cream becomes nice and creamy. And then we are going to top this on to our cake. Then we're going to just evenly spread it out across our cake and make sure you cover it all the way to the edges. And by this time, our cake has actually already absorbed most of the milk mixture. It's amazing how fast it actually absorbs it. This is what our coconut looks like. I want to let you know, you want to make sure it cools before you top your cake with it. And you need to kind of stir it around as it's browning. And it's about how toasted you want it. You need to keep an eye on it or it can burn in your oven and this gets all gross. You don't want to have to start all over again. We're just going to top our cake with all that coconut and there it is. You guys, this is so good. It's a little bit time consuming to make, but it's so worth the effort and it is really easy to make. Well, I hope you guys give it a try. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and share it out with all your friends. And I hope you love this just as much as I do. And I hope to see you soon.